Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. I'm going to talk about a few things. First thing I'll bring up is the Kanye situation. And, other figures like him. Like you have Tate. You have, Alex Jones. And they've been justifying canceling these people for, ideas or, biblical concepts. Disagreeing with mainstream media, which we know the mainstream media is just a programming tool that the elites use to formulate public opinion. All right, so, they've justified shutting down people's bank accounts, or shutting their banking system down, finding people under the guise of your comments are hurtful or hateful. They find I forgot, it was close to $1 billion that they fined Alex Jones for the the whole Sandy Hook thing. And this Kanye thing, it could be used as a catalyst to demonize or to cancel or to invoke certain measures upon those that do say, hey man, look at these Edomites. Look at the chief tribe of Amalek, who call themselves, the so-called Jew. Look at how they move, how they operate, what they've been doing. And look at the heritage they stole. So that could be he could be used as one of the catalysts to push forth prophecy, which is a good thing, because we seek new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And the more this devil ups the ante on the left-hand side, the more the Lord is going to up the ante on the right-hand side. All right, but let me read Isaiah 29 and 20 really quick, and we'll just go from there. It's not going to be too long. I'm still here at work, but let's get into it. All right, Isaiah 29 and 20. All right, it reads, "For the terrible one is brought to naught." We know who the wicked is. We know who Esau Edom is. We know that they're the adversary of Israel, thus making them the adversary of the Lord. Okay, that's why the Lord said He's going to come down upon Idumea. He has the main nation that He has a quarrel with is the nation of Edom. And a big reason why this devil had to go around changing the names of everybody, including himself, all right, is because he's trying to hide who he is. Because if people were still going by their biblical names, right, the question will always arise, well, who's Edom? Or are these people the Edomites? That question would always arise, and it would be blatantly clear that they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. If people were still going by their biblical names, then it was still common knowledge that we were Israelites, which it was prophecy that we would discontinue from our heritage, so that had to take place. But if that wasn't the case, right, and all this was going on, what would they really be? You know what I mean? The whole world will be blatantly clear. Like, man, we gotta get rid of the Israelites, because eventually we're gonna be taken into captivity for what we've done to them. We're not gonna escape the hand of the Lord. So these lies had to be pushed forth and told, but now the uncovering of these lies is coming to the forefront. All right, Isaiah 29 and 20 again from the top. "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed. And all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare," the fowler, right? We know who the fowler is as well, someone that's laying a trap. They're laying a trap for us, for the Israelites. They've always been laying traps. They're the accuser of the brethren. All these different titles. The most proud. Jeremiah calls this devil the most proud. Verse 21 from the top, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And who are going to be those that are reproving in the gate? Well, that duty was given unto the men of Israel. Romans 9:4, right? And the service of Yahweh, right? And turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So, they're gonna be making, they're already doing it. They're making men offenders for a word, men offenders for a particular mindset that's coming back into the earth. And it started with the apostles and the elders, from starting going all the way back to Abba Bivens, who we believe is John the Baptist in the spirit, coming all the way down to our apostles and elders, and to the up and coming elders and the brothers you see today. They are the ones that are, reproving in the gate. We're the ones that were proving in the gate, right? So the main target, the main adversary for this devil, the main person he has to get out of the way is not figures like Kanye West, Andrew Tate, Alex Jones. Not those figures. They have to get the men of the Lord out of the way. And eventually, the more they try to move and constrain particular things, the Lord is going to move. He's going to start doing miraculous things to where people is going to become common knowledge that the actual high value men, the actual men that should be listened to, the actual men of God are in fact the men of the Lord, the men of Israel. And it's coming even in, and it's so spiritual. It's being revealed now in this time by, particular other groups going off in doctrine, doing low down and wicked things, that even amongst the men that are rebuking in the gate, the men that are telling our people that they're Israelites, there's a subset men within the nation who actually have the full understanding of who the Lord is really dealing with. That's being revealed as well. So, fame is coming. Now, people in this world, they spend their whole life, reaching and grasping and doing little things for fame. They want to be seen. They want to feel appreciated and want to feel loved. Especially the Israelite man, who's gone without being appreciated for so long. All right, this is a human condition. People want these things. But the men that are going to be uplifted and made as fine as gold are those who are able to, just like Moses, who the brother in Chicago did a beautiful lesson on it. I might share it. I believe I did already, but if I haven't, I'll go back and share it. Brought out the precept in Hebrews earlier today, and I'll just go get it. This was the mindset Moses or King David was in. All right, bear with me really quick. Now it's Hebrews 11, and I'll start at 23. Another chapter I love to read to pair with Hebrews 11 is 1 Maccabees 2, and I'll start at 50 on down. Same kind of faith-boosting list that the Lord gives us. All right? Hebrews 11 and 23. By faith, and remember, what's going to be put on trial in the days to come? Our faith. Our faith is going to be tried. So that is what you want to be praying. More faith. Praying for that wise and understanding heart. Same way Solomon or Yahushua did. When the Lord came to him in a dream. These are things you want to pray for, right? Because this is you want to be equipped, fully equipped to deal with the test that's coming upon us. Hebrews 11 and 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. We've been under persecution. Under all of heaven has not been done as has been done unto Jerusalem. And with this whole, I know I'm going off on little tangents here, but I got to say with this whole tangent, anti-Semitic. First of all, they don't understand the term. Okay. Might just do a lesson on that in itself. They're using that term to play victim so they can justify, the blood they want to shed. But nobody's had it worse than the so-called black man, the so-called Latino man, the so-called Native American man upon the face of the earth. It's not even close. Okay? So them trying to play victim or say, oh, I forgot the guy's name that was interviewing Kanye. Let me go look again. The interview, I think he's English. All right. Yeah, I can't remember his name right now, and I'm not finna go looking for it, spending too much energy looking for it. Yeah, so he was saying in the interview with Kanye, he was saying, well, one form of racism doesn't justify another, and they clearly they don't understand what the man is saying. Well, the interviewer might understand, but he has to do the subterfuge. He has to spin it in a way to where Esau can be justified. But he's calling these people out on their wickedness, and they, just like the nigger woman is taking on the spirit of Esau. They don't want to take accountability for the things that they've done, or they just flat out lie and deny them altogether. Okay? But there's no people that even comes close to the persecution that we've suffered. And that's for a reason as well, man. It's also something that you can use to identify who the nation of Israel is. Okay, Hebrews 11:24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Moses was in a position that he possibly could have became Pharaoh. He could have became ruler of the land. But he denied that. Why? Verse 25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And like the brother from Chicago mentioned, the elder brother from Chicago mentioned in his lesson, it would have been in wickedness. So he said, you know what? I'm not gonna take the easy route. I'm gonna serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Choose you this day whom you will serve, right? Verse 26, Hebrews 11:26, esteeming the reproach of the Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, because it is. See, the riches of the world, like it talks about in Matthew the 6th chapter, the moth and rust doth corrupt. But when you build your riches in the kingdom of heaven, man, no man can take that away. And going back to that condition of people wanting fame, people wanting to be appreciated and recognized here on this side, which is a part of the human condition, there are men, everybody wants to feel appreciated. We want those same things, but we understand in the spirit that we want it in righteousness, not in wickedness. So we're able to suffer for this little moment, because it is compared to eternity, to an eternal kingdom. We're able to suffer now for something more legitimate, more authentic later. All right, we want to be a part of that crowning ceremony that they talk about in 2nd Ezra. All right, Hebrews 11:26 again from the top. Esteeming the reproach of the Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, and we're in spiritual Egypt right now. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured. And really, ultimately, I mentioned this a couple weeks back in camp, it's boiling down to, who do you fear most? Do you have the fear of the Lord, which leads to true wisdom, or do you fear this devil? Because that fear is going to get you to move a particular way. If you fear the wicked, you're going to move towards, according to his agenda. You're going to dance to his tune. But if you fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going to be standing up against the evildoers. Right? Verse 26 again, esteeming the reproach of the Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Yeah, man. Fear him that is able to destroy both soul and body in hell, man. And not just the body, man. This devil can't do anything to us. And what you got to understand is, when you come into the fullness of the Bible and you understand how life and death works, death isn't final. All spirits return back to the earth, man. So even some of us that are going to be martyrs, that's not losing. The world might see it that way, but that's not a loss. Did not Yahweh Shai receive victory in death? He was brought back, man. He was risen up again. And the Lord's gonna raise up again, you know, all the brothers who stood stiffly for the things of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. They're gonna rise first. Okay? So it's good that this conversation is happening. It's good that he's trying to, you know, Esau's trying to push forth the justification of canceling people for, you know, ideas, a mindset, because that means the Lord's going to start upping the ante on the right-hand side in righteousness. And for those who, you know, are seeking the new heavens and the new earth, that's something we're anxious for. There's a question that the disciples always pose to Yahweh Shai, especially towards the end of his ministry, when he had to be, you know, that lamb without blemish, that sacrifice for Israel's sins. They would say or ask, will now at this time again restore the kingdom unto Israel? So they were always, that sentiment is, you know, prevalent today amongst the true believers. They were always ready for the kingdom to be established. They were always hastening the kingdom. And as we see these prophecies playing forth and everything playing out, we get excited because we know we're another step to the transference of the kingdom, the transference of rulership, like it talks about in Sirach 10 and 8. Okay, so with that being said, man, Lord willing, you got something from the lesson. It was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.